Our next guest stole the show this past Saturday in Atlanta. He wanted to fight in his home state. He's from nearby Augusta. He got the fight in Atlanta, the UFC's first fight back in Atlanta since 2019. And yeah, obviously Usman gets to win, Rose gets to win, former champions, legends. But I feel like everyone was talking about Malcolm Wellmaker, about his vibe, his entrance, the knockout, how he set it up, the post-fight stuff, everything. I mean, it feels like we are watching a future star, a future superstar, a future champion develop, blossom in front of our eyes. He had a tremendous Contender Series showing, right hook knockout. He had a tremendous UFC debut a couple months ago, right hook knockout. He had a tremendous return back home to his home state of Georgia, right hook knockout. He's kind enough to join us right now. Let us say hello for the first time on this program to Malcolm Wellmaker. There he is. Hello, Malcolm. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Man, it's such a pleasure to watch you compete. Just watch you, man. Always a massive smile on your face. You're so happy. You're so positive. You're so appreciative and grateful. And then you perform like that. I just want to say off the top, congratulations on everything going on in your life, because it's a real joy to watch you from afar.
Thank you so much, man. I try to stay humble. You know, I try to take in every moment, and I know everything I got right now is just some of the biggest blessings I dreamed of for a long time. So I'm glad to be here.
Have you always been this type of person, just constantly smiling and being positive, or has this developed over time?
Yeah, I think as far back as I can remember, man, I've always been a pretty happy guy, somewhat bubbly. Yeah, man, I realized how much the people resonate with it, so I just lean into it even more.
And so obviously this was a big opportunity for you, right? You were talking about this. You're from nearby Augusta. If they would have gone through with the card and for whatever reason you couldn't get a fight, they said it's full, whatever, would you have been bummed? Would you have been devastated if you weren't fighting on Saturday?
Yeah, I was bummed because I thought I wasn't going to fight. You know, I mean, we was getting close, you know, matchups wasn't happening. And I badly, you know, wanted to compete on the Atlanta card. So I was bummed. And when it came through, man, it was a dream come true.
Because it was just a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it was. I got the phone call on June 3rd. It was 11 days out.
And where were you when you got the call?
I was asleep. My phone was ringing, and I woke up. I turned over. It was my manager. The previous matchup we had fell out because of an injury, and my manager, it was an 18-second call. Jason House. He said, "The green-haired kid fought Sean O'Malley, Kris Moutinho. You want to fight him?" I said, "Hell yeah!" And he said, "Okay, I'm on it," and hung up. That was it.
That's incredible. And now at that point, were you like sort of coming to terms with the fact that this won't happen? This won't come to fruition?
Yeah, after the last guy we had, we found out he got injured. I thought it was over with, but my manager, you know, like I said, he held on to it and he kept saying it was gonna happen.
Did you know who Kris Moutinho was?
Yeah, I watched Kris Moutinho fight Sean O'Malley live. I remember it, and I even remember seeing him get the ice cream sandwich afterwards, and being a fan of him and how tough he was, how much heart he had, and you know, rooting for him. So when the name came across, I was very familiar with him.
And so we're talking about your demeanor and how you look at life. Because you were fighting at home, were you super anxious? Were you nervous? Did you feel the pressure of trying to impress your state, your city?
Yeah, I felt that pressure naturally, but not enough for it to actually affect me. You know, when I was in the warm-up room, I had the nerves a little bit, not much more than usual. But once I walked out and they dropped my song and the crowd went crazy, man, I was right back to the person I am when I'm in front of the lights.
Okay, we'll get to the song in a moment. But speaking of the warm-up room, the footage that was dropped afterwards of you doing the exact same sequence that you pulled off, like, look at this.
Dang.
Bro, what the hell? I mean, this is beautiful. You go to the body, then you fake to the body with the same kick, and then you knock him out. Except the difference is that wasn't a hook. That's more of like a straight right overhand. So tell me how you did this, because I think I've watched that knockout like 1,000 times now. Everything from the first kick, the setup, then the fake, then how precise and clean that right hook is. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful knockouts I've ever seen. It really was.
Yeah, man. Man, my coaches are geniuses. If I wish I could, I might even start doing it, recording them and saying they think this is going to be it. Wow. And lining it up with the knockout. The past two fights, the two knockouts before him, it was the same exact scenario. They predicted the exact entrance, the exact shot. And it just so happened that we were working the concept, at least, for the knockout that happened this time. You know, they knew working the legs, working the body was going to make the knockout so much easier. And that's where I started at. Once I started seeing him really bite on the feints and knowing that the damage to the body was hurting, I knew it was only a matter of time that the knockout was coming.
If you could you describe what does it feel like to connect with a right like that and the body just go like that clean, that beautifully, perfectly? What does that feel like to a human being like you?
It's absolutely insane, man. You know, the same motion that you do when you hit a bag, but instead you hit a target, and the body that you hit just responds by collapsing, and the sound of the shot, the sound of the crowd, you know, reinforcing the moment. Brother, it's astronomical. It's incredible. I can't even put it into words.
How many times have you watched it?
I can't count them more than you have.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. All the different angles as well. There's like one from the cage,
So
there's the
good.
broadcast, fan cams, right?
Yeah, man, it's too good, man. Every time I have a moment to sit down and watch it and look at the shots that led up to it, man, I'm just admiring it. And oh man, it's perfect. It's gonna live on for a long time.
You've had some great knockouts. Fair to say that's number one?
Yes, sir.
What about the walkout? So you wanted to represent. I saw you say at the post fight you had a bunch of songs. You had two, and then you went with a different one, right? So
Yep.
tell me how we
Yep.
got to that song and what that song means to Atlanta.
Yeah, man. So it's a ton of, so even regionally, whenever I fight, I always try to pick a song that's special and has some type of tie with me and my audience. And a lot of times when I fight in Atlanta, because I fought in Atlanta regionally plenty of times, I always go in an Atlanta artist. So I wanted to come out to Future or Young Thug, and I narrowed it down to two songs that, you know, really get me in the zone. But I felt like it was a little bit too underground. You know, they was a little less known. And so for the week of the fight, I was putting together an Atlanta artist playlist just for me to warm up to, move around to, hit mitts. And I came across, oh, let's do it. And I was like, man, why did I not make this the song? And so fortunately enough, I hadn't sent them the song yet. And I played it. And one time was all I needed to make a hard decision that was going to be the one.
You also said a few times in the post fight that you were looking to get ratchet. I think it was the word. What is ratchet? What is it? What does that mean to you, ratchet, when you say that?
Man, getting ratchet is just, you know, having a good time, getting a little rowdy, breaking a couple rules with the guys that I grew up with, man. We all got a little checkered background, you know what I mean? And we have a good time. We got so many crazy memories. And those was all the guys that came to the fight. So that's kind of what I was talking about.
Did you actually in the end get ratchet?
Nah, I didn't.
You did
man.
it?
Fortunately enough, nah, because
I thought you wanted to get ratchet.
I did, but by the time the fight's wrapped up, it was like 1 a.m. I met up at the hotel lobby with all the people who come to see me, you know, from Augusta, Atlanta, just so many local guys. And by the time I got done, you know, taking pictures, shaking hands, and holding conversations, it was like 4 a.m, man. And it was time for me to go home, you know. So no ratchetness yet in Atlanta, but this weekend I might make up for it.
And forgive me for asking, is ratchet the same as like lit? Is it the same as crunk, or are these different levels?
Yeah, right. They all brothers. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
One of the same.
Is ratchet an Atlanta or a Georgia thing?
Probably, I would say so. It's probably
Okay.
more often used in this area.
And could I ask, what about this? You said checkered past. What is this checkered past that you're talking about?
So particularly, I mean, most of my Atlanta homeboys is guys that I went to college with. So I went to Georgia Southern, but I got expelled from Georgia Southern. And at the time when I was out there, man, we was all pretty wild boys. I mean, we partied all the time. A lot of the guys that was also out there at Georgia Southern with me was guys that I went to high school with. I also got kicked out of high school and went to alternative school. I got a spotty history, man. It's not necessarily the focus of what a lot of people know about me. It's more so the blue collar stuff. But man, before I got into the trade, man, in school, I always got in trouble. You know, I ran into the law a couple times. And me and my friends, you know, when we look at where I came today, that's the kind of stuff that makes it so valuable because, you know, I lived far from a life that you would have thought would have led to something like this.
Why did you get expelled?
From the high school or the college?
Oh, okay. Well, let's start with the high school.
I was at this school. It was actually a school that had a big drama program and like music program and stuff like that. And I was a problem child, always getting in fights. They always, was giving me detention and stuff like that. Well, one year I found out how to make fake tickets to this big show that they was doing, and I got caught making counterfeit tickets and pushing them at the school. So they kicked me out for that. And then in college, I got into an altercation with a police officer during a fire drill where they was trying to search my apartment. Long story short, it's a lot of details, but that's essentially what happened and ended my career at Georgia Southern.
Okay, and what year were you in?
I went to Georgia Southern in 2012, 2013.
No, meaning like was that your freshman year, your junior?
Yeah, that was my freshman year.
Okay, so
I wasn't there long at all.
What did you do after that?
I came back to Augusta and I stayed at my mom's house for about 6 months. I worked at Food Lion. And then I picked up a second job at a call center making $850, and I worked 2 jobs. And me and all my ratchet homeboys moved into a house where the rent was $600. It was trapped out.
Oh my!
And we stayed there for 6 years, bro. Me and my the guys that do my videos now, the camera guys, my brother and my best friend, they stayed with me in this house. We rented that house for 6 years, and that was around the time when I got into the apprenticeship for pipe fitting, and then shortly after started fighting.
So at this point in these early days, you are not a fighter, right? You're not practicing martial arts. You're not doing anything, right?
No, I never had a boxing lesson, jiu-jitsu, wrestling class, not a single anything before the age of 22 when I was in my second year of apprenticeship already.
Who introduces you to this?
I had a guy in particular. His name was Kyle Mathis, and another guy named David Cornforth. Fitters and welders in the trade. I was working at a plant with them, and I was starting to get out of shape because I was drinking beer all the time. I was in the construction industry, and the lifestyle was just getting worse and worse. And I wanted to get in shape. And these 2 guys in particular had done MMA or jiu-jitsu in their past, and they were like, "Hey, man, you should try MMA. You can get in shape, and then you can learn to defend yourself." And so that in turn led me to trying the gym that I'm at now, and I met those guys, the Faglers, and I never left, and it snowballed into this.
Were you aware of UFC? Like, did you watch fights? Were you a fan at all?
No, man. I knew Jorge Masvidal, John Jones, and Anderson Silva, and that was literally about it.
Wow.
I knew nothing else. I never saw a live event ever. And when I got into the sport was when Conor McGregor was, I believe, about to fight Nate Diaz for the second time. And so I became like a Conor fan because the craze was, all about him. And that's when like my UFC fan life started.
So when you're just like starting out, are you taking to it right away, or are you getting beat up? Like, what are those early sessions like for you?
This is a funny story we always tell, but on my first day, I got dropped by 2 of my coaches.
Wow.
So, they head kicked me and put me on my ass. And I was hard-headed enough to show back up the next day. And they said they knew after that I was going to be able to make something of myself. But yeah, it was, bro, I was the worst guy in the gym for a long time. I only did kickboxing. So when I decided after about a year to transition into MMA, the high schoolers was putting me on my back, and I was a grown man working a construction job. I was the nail and never the hammer for years and years. But I was seeing progress, and Pops, Jake and Joel, my coach's dad, convinced me I could be somebody, and I bought in.
When did you start to believe like this could actually be a career for you and not just a fun thing on the side?
I believe that I could actually do something with it when I got invited to fight for Jorge Masvidal on Icon FC. It was my second pro fight. A guy from First Round reached out. He put me on the show, and I got a knockout. It was one of my craziest knockouts against Langston Sykes, and Jorge Masvidal gave me $1,000 in cash and told me that I was going to be famous.
Wow. And that's when you were like, okay, this could be a thing.
Yeah, no, that was literally when I was like, okay, maybe I can go to the UFC, because locally I had Augusta shows, and all the coworkers and family and friends were like, oh, you gonna do big things and this and that. And I was doing good, but like, I didn't think I could go to the UFC, but when I made it to Icon, and somebody who I've known for years and looked up to and admired, who's been on the highest level, tells me from their own mouth that I'm going to be able to do it, then I was like, okay, maybe it's really real.
And according to your Tapology, you had 9 amateur fights. You went 8-1, right?
9-1.
9-1. Okay. So you had 10. A lot of guys don't have that many amateur fights. Why did you have so many?
I had so many because my coaches wouldn't let me go pro.
Oh man.
Think of it. But that's really the approach that they take. You know, they try to develop the guys in the amateur scene as much as possible, try to take the hardest challenges that we can find before we go pro so that when we do, we can really be active. And I think when I went pro, I took like my first 5 fights within a year because I was just at a place where I was ready for that competition.
And so those amateur fights, you're not getting paid for them, right?
No,
You were probably like, come on, man, let me go get paid, right?
Yeah, I was sick of it.
Even if it's a couple $100, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, man. Fighting as an amateur is tough. And especially when you get to the point where we were, like I remember traveling to Florida, like driving 7 hours. We even drove to Virginia once for a fight because eventually locally it's hard to find the tests and challenges that you need. So it was real frustrating, but man, it paid off in the long run.
And so when you're, like when you're climbing the ranks and you're this is all coming to fruition, are you ever thinking like, yo, if these guys don't tell me to do this, like, what would my life be? Like, do you ever play that game? And what do you think your life would be? Like, who would you be right now if you don't have these two guys in your life who say, like, hey, you should try this out. You could defend yourself, have some fun. What would you be doing now?
You know, I think about that a lot. And I honestly don't know. I don't want to throw like the cliche out there like that. I got a lot of friends that's like dead and in jail because thank God a lot of people that I grew up with and care about, none of them are dead. But I do have a lot of friends that are either in jail or have a criminal history or just have, careers that's somewhat dead end. And I never thought myself to be somebody that was going to be significant or have an impact on the people around me or even be memorable. So I have no idea where I would be. I mean, I'd probably be in the construction industry, seeing as I was already in it. But other than that, I really have no idea, man.
How did you get into construction?
Man, this is funny. So my mom, she worked in the office for a pediatric center. So she was at the front desk, and there was this lady in the office who was dating a pipe fitter. Wow. And this pipe fitter was like tricking off on her. I mean, he was spending money on her, and she always come to the job talking about how her boyfriend's a pipe fitter. He make money, he do this, he do that. And my mom was like, what's a pipe fitter? How do you get in? And so she finds out about the union and finds out that they do the application process twice a year. So she gets the information, sends it to me, and she's like, Malcolm, you need to go do this. They make good money. And I didn't know at all what a pipe fitter was or what they did, but I went down to the hall. I did an application. I did some interviews, and they do like some standardized tests for math and reading. And I scored pretty high, man. And I think every year or twice a year, they do the rankings for everybody who applied. And as they need apprentices, they call down that list based off of the scores. And I was like score 5 out of, over 100. And less than 3 months, maybe after I did that application process is when I got the phone call to join the apprenticeship. And I was in construction ever since.
And how many years were you in construction for?
Close to 10, a few months shy of 10 years.
So yeah. Especially now that you've gotten on everyone's radar, I saw the videos that you were posting of you at your job. This is a tough gig, man. Look at this stuff. This is you preparing for your UFC debut. Like, look at this life that you had. That's 7:30 in the morning. Man. So, like, what was your typical day before you left the job? What's your typical day like?
So, Monday through Thursday, I would have to clock in at 7 a.m. and we get off at 5:30 p.m. 10-hour shifts Monday through Thursday. Sometimes we work Fridays. And this was the most recent job I worked. So the job I maintained for the last 2.5 years of my pro career, this is what it was. And so Monday through Thursday, I get off at 5:30. I bolt to the house. I get to the gym by 7, and I train from 7 p.m. until about 9:30 or 10, depending on if I have partners that'll stay late and work with me. And then Friday mornings, I'd wake up and I'd go for a run. Friday evening, I'd wrestle. Saturday morning, I'd wake up and lift. Saturday evening, I do rounds. Sunday morning, I do jiu-jitsu. And Sunday evening, I do conditioning. So work and training Monday through Thursday and 2 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Aren't you exhausted?
Yes. I was exhausted. I was sick. I wasn't able to be there for my family, friends, events, vacations for years and years and years. But I held on to this dream and it paid off.
Did you have any kind of social life during this period?
Not really, man. My life is work, training, come home. And my complete social circle was just training partners, teammates, and just my close family.
At any point, are you like, man, I'm doing all this and I don't know if it's going to happen? Like, did you ever lose hope in the midst of it? Once you start to believe, once you get the money from Masvidal, did you ever think like, maybe this is not going to work out for me and it will all be for naught?
Yeah, man. I had many of those moments. There were jobs so when I worked at that 2.5 year job, there were jobs where we had opportunities to travel out of state for weeks at a time and make big money. A lot of times I had to sit out on those jobs and I didn't get to get ahead like all the other guys. Crazy story, but in April before my Contender Series fight, I had this truck, a F-250 I bought. It got repossessed because I was going broke. I couldn't keep up with the bills I had. It was tough, man, and a lot of times it got dark, and I didn't know if it would be worth it. I didn't know if I would ever make it to the UFC or even if I'd have success in the UFC. But like I said, man, Pops, Jake, Joel, man, they kept the belief in me. They kept pushing me. They kept telling me it could be done, and I stayed the course.
That's wild because that Contender Series fight was in August of last year, right? And here we are,
Yeah,
like, so this time last year, June of last year, you're on the verge of getting your car, repossessed and not being able to
yeah.
and look at you now. Would you believe this? If we talked this time last year, would you have
Uh,
believed any of this?
Nah, I wouldn't even believe if they told me I was gonna be on your podcast,
Oh
bro.
man.
When my manager told me that you wanted to talk, I was, over the moon. And so this is all crazy. My life has done a complete flip since, even less than a year ago.
Incredible. What a story. It really is amazing. And it's for that reason that it's so fun to root for you, truly. And then after your debut, you decide to quit, right?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah. Because, for me, being a union worker, first of all, I can call at any point down to the hall as long as I got my dues paid and ask them to put me to work and they'll tell me where to go. It might be local, it might be up the road, but I can go get a paycheck in the industry any day that I need to. So I always have that cushion behind me. I have a really good name in the local, so work's not hard to find. But with a cushion like $50,000, my bills are paid for a good chunk of time, and it gives me the ability to not have to be exhausted and not have to be tired and having just a little bit left in me at the end of the night in my training session. I mean, I'm training twice a day, 3 times a day, and my energy levels are through the roof. I'm working with these guys at the Performance Institute, and I'm learning all this stuff I never knew. I mean, just my potential and my ceiling has risen so much, and it's because I was willing to take that chance at being a full-time athlete.
And so you're done with that, right? Like you have no interest in going back.
Yeah, man. God willing, I will never have to put on a hard hat again.
What was that day like when you told them, thanks for everything, but I'm out?
It was good, man. All my coworkers were rooting for me. They watched the fight, and they all knew that if I got a bonus, because I told them if I get it, bro, I'm quitting. And so I woke up that morning. I had on sweats and a hoodie. I stopped at Bojangles, got some biscuits, and I came in. And we all sat at the break table. We talked for about an hour, just reminiscing on the knockout, talking about all the good times, the dirty jobs, and what my future looked like. And we hugged each other. I rounded up my tools and I left the job site.
Were any of those guys at the fight on Saturday?
Nah, man, none of those guys. But guys that I've worked previous jobs in the actual the local with have come to the fight though.
Yeah, and I'm sure that made it, supremely special. What about your mom? Is she able to watch you fight?
Yeah, man. My mom, she loves the fights. My auntie, my cousins, brothers, all them. They was there in Atlanta. They was at the Airbnb when I went back afterwards to eat some pizza and breadsticks, and they came to the hotel too when I went to meet everybody. So my family is huge, huge supporters of everything I got going on.
Did your house get banged up from the hurricane last year?
Yeah, it was bad, man. I actually I got a lot of pictures on my social media, man. I had a tree that fell on top of my house. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
y'all got that. Yeah, you already know. Yeah, I had to get my roof replaced.
Jeez.
The yard was messed up. The fence got completely ruined. That was my close teammate's driveway. He lost all his vehicles. A tree fell through his house. They're still currently cleaning up like the Riverwalk and the canal from the mess and debris from that hurricane. It was the biggest tragedy we've had that I can remember.
And is your house okay now?
Yeah, my house is good, man. Other than the damage to the roof and a little bit of the siding in the yard, my house is fine, completely good. I'm in it right now, and I'm not complaining at all.
Okay. So a relatively quick turnaround here. How fast do you want to come back?
Uh, as soon as it makes sense, man. My manager asked me, are you healthy? I told him, yeah, and I saw him go to typing on his phone. I don't know what he was looking at, but you know, as soon as something good comes across, that's a great opportunity. I'm ready for it, man. You know, I pretty much live in the gym. I don't plan on taking too much time off at all. I got a little bit of soreness, not much, but I will be in the gym later this week and probably next week implementing my full-time schedule all over again.
Is it one of those things where maybe like your coaches are saying, okay, now, you know, we got a few, you don't want to go back to where you're fighting too often, right, and burn yourself out, or is everyone on board with you fighting as often as possible?
Yeah, no, they in support of whatever I want to do, man. If I told them I wanted to take some time off to enjoy, you know, the victories, they'd be for it. And if I tell them I want to fight every 4 to 6 weeks, you know, they are on board. They believe in me, and the place I'm in right now, I'm in such good shape. I'm mentally in such a good place where I want to compete very frequently, and all the elements in my life are, you know, aligned with my mission at hand. You know, I'm in a little bit later than most, and I know that this time frame I have has to be used urgently. So I'm driven, man, and I'm prepared to compete as often as necessary.
Why do they call you the Machine?
Oh man, it was my very first kickboxing match coming up, and Pops, he was just like, I got a nickname. We're gonna call you Malcolm the Machine. I don't even think my cardio was good back then. You know what I mean? I just think that it had a nice ring to it, and Pop said it. So when Pop said it, it's law. So I ran with it and never let it go.
And is Walla because of your last name?
Nah. So it's a long story. But you know, this ratchet group of fans I was talking about, we all used to rap. And I didn't have a rap name. Yeah. I didn't have a rap name. And it was a story where this girl said I was cute like a koala, and my friends went from cooking me, calling me a koala, to being like, hey, your rap name should be K-Walla. And then we eventually dropped the K, just went with Walla, and from that point forward, it was like when I was like 13, 14, all my friends just been calling me Walla ever since. So yeah, that just been something that I've been running with, and I actually named my son Walla, who was born on May 19th.
Oh wow, like just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. He came on a fight trip with me.
Wow. Congratulations. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
First son?
Thank you.
First child?
Son.
Wow.
Yep.
What was that like?
Yeah. Incredible, man. Life is good. Big blessing. You know, after the fight, I went back to the Airbnb and I was holding him. And that was the picture that I posted along with the one of me celebrating my victory in the cage, man. Fatherhood it's incredible, man. It's big. And I can't wait for him to grow up and go back and search all the things I'm doing right now.
Amazing. You even have your own shirt. I think I see you rocking it.
Yeah. That's it. My merch.
Where can people get this?
GrizzlyFightCo.com, man. This is it's actually a company that a really close friend of mine does. His name is Dill, and he designs all these things, man. He fulfills the orders, and we chop it up on the phone and come up with these ideas. And he's an absolute genius, man. So shout out to him, GrizzlyFightCo.com. We got a few of these left. It's a 404 themed shirt, so it's got like a 404 Atlanta billboard on it, and we got some other good ideas coming. So yeah. GrizzlyFightCo.com.
Well, we love what you're doing here, and I think you met another member of the team when you were on his show a couple of weeks ago, Connor, who's also from Georgia. Look at the shirt he's wearing today. Look at this guy.
Yeah, let's go, Malcolm.
I'm rocking your shirt.
Got it on. Hey, shout out to your guy Dylan, man. I actually
Tell
met
him the
him.
story.
I met him on Saturday night. You know, you guys dropped this shirt right after you got the fight announcement. Unfortunately, USPS messed it up, so I didn't get it in time. Dylan at the arena hand-delivered it to me. So I had it on when you made the walk, man. It was incredible.
Look at that.
Bro, thank you. I remember you telling me you wanted one, and then I saw you said you ordered it. But with the phone call coming on June 3rd, that day I called my boys and I was like, bro, we got to get this photo shoot done. And we immediately try to put the website together, get printing done. It was just an absolute, mess. But even with that being said, he did such a good job at trying to make sure people got him, accommodating for people that didn't get him in time. And man, he's a superstar. So thank you for the support, man. And shout out to Bill.
Hey, you're a superstar, and it's amazing what you're doing and how far you're going to go. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you rise up those ranks. Well done. Congratulations on all the blessings going on in your life. Great to meet you and great to have you on for the first time and hopefully the first of many. Thank you so much, Malcolm.
Thank you so much, man. I had a blast. I can't believe I'm here, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too. All the best. Wow, what a guy. Malcolm Wellmaker, a.k.a. The Machine. I love this guy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I absolutely love him. He's tremendous, and he fights like a freaking stud as well. He's not just like a pleasure to talk to. He's not just, I mean, look at that. Look at the vibe. Look at the positivity. Look at the smile. But did you see the knockout? I wish we could play it here, but you've seen it. You have to have seen it. There's a guy named Jason who I follow. Last name escapes me. I don't want to butcher it, but it starts with an A, Amaegi, I think it is. In any event, he posted like an almost like an octagon side. It was clearly like someone here shooting it like from the cage social media, and you just see the precision with which he throws and lands that right hook. Golly. And again, it's the setup. As they say, he's investing in the body kicks, he's investing, and then he feints, and so Moutinho bites, goes down a little bit, and it was, oh my God, standing straight and just freaking
he is incredible.
Yeah.
I also didn't know this about him. Georgia Southern, 2012, 2013. I was also there.
You were there?
Who knows? Maybe we crossed paths.
I thought you went to Georgia.
Yeah, but I had to start at Georgia Southern. My grades in high school were shit.
Wow.
I couldn't get into Georgia right out of high school.
Those same years?
Yeah, we're the same age. We're both 31, so it would make sense that freshman year we were both there at the same time.
It's wild that he's 31 because I think he only started training when he was 22 or something like that.
Oh, God bless him. It feels like he's like 25.
Yes. Feels like he's 23.
He looks like he's 25.
I was going to say to him, like, man, you had a kid already? You're so young. He's 31. God, that's a superstar right there.
The man. Can't wait for his next one.
Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.